all of you. I hope you are doing well, you are studying well. Welcome back to the auditing class. We are continuing with our chapter number 4. Very interesting chapter. Lot of new concepts you are going to learn and lot of new standards of auditing you are going to learn. So sit upright, sit straight with notebook, book, pen in your hands with some water bottle, and we'll get started with this class. Are you all ready? Visible, audible, everything clear? Okay. All right. Perfect. Great. So, till the last lecture, we studied a lot about audit evidence. What was the essay number we studied? Can anyone tell me? What was the standard of auditing that we studied last time? Who can tell me? Very good. Essay number 500 we studied. What are those 7 methods to obtain audit evidence? Can anyone tell quickly? What are the 7 methods to obtain audit evidence? Inquiry, correct, Prajapati? Prajapati Namrata. Inspection, observation, correct. Then inquiry, inspection, observation, recalculation, reperformance, analytic procedure. One is left, external confirmation. Good. Remember, neighbors. Okay. Third parties. All right. Okay. So you guys remember quite decently. I'm happy about that. Then what is test of details? What is covered in test of details? What is covered in test of details? टेस्ट ऑफ डिटेल्स में क्या आता है? कौन सी 2 चीजें टेस्ट ऑफ डिटेल्स मानी जाती है? Very good, Karan. Vouching and verification. Perfect. Good, Pooja. Good, Diya. Correct, Mehak. Perfect. Okay. So I'm satisfied that you have studied what we studied previously, and now we can continue. Today, the topic that we are going to officially study for the first time is assertions. But practically, I've already given you an understanding of it in previous chapter. Do you remember? Practically, I already explained assertions to you, but this time we are going to do in much more detail, in proper structure, in proper theory way, and we are going to understand assertion. And I am telling you that your assertion understanding will help you in chapter number 5, which has a very big weightage in your exam. आप assertions अगर नहीं समझेंगे, if your understanding of assertion is weak, that will of course cause problem in this chapter, but you will have full problem in chapter number 5. So ये topic and this concept is so important that understanding it will help you with almost 15-20 marks in the exam, understanding it. So let's start with assertions. Everyone pay attention, please. And again, we are going to study assertion through a Mr. Don story. Okay, let's start with a Mr. Don story. Like always. Okay, so Mr. Don is an auditor and he has been audited, like, let's take any random name. Fresh Bite Foods Limited. Okay. So they make different food products like jam, biscuits, and all those things. So let's say it's a biscuit manufacturing company. So Fresh Bite, let's say it's a manufacturing company. And Mr. Don is the auditor. Okay. Now Mr. Don sees a transaction in the balance sheet and P&L. So the transaction says that company has purchased raw material worth 10 lakh rupees. So company, let's say, has purchased raw material worth 10 lakh rupees. Now, as an auditor, there are many things that this sentence is telling us, and we have to confirm them one by one. The first thing that I need, and immediately as an auditor that should come to me, is did the transaction actually happen? Did the transaction actually happen? Did this purchase really occur? So, is supplier genuine? Was material actually purchased? Was material actually purchased? And how do I get this? What evidence I can get? I can check supplier invoice. I can check GST registrations. I can check purchase order. Multiple things I can do. So when I ask this question, about the transaction, what am I checking actually? I am checking which assertion? Occurrence assertion. What am I checking? Occurrence, that whether this transaction actually happened. Then second question I will ask, okay, this transaction actually happened, but have all purchases been recorded? Have all purchases been recorded? This is the second question I'll ask as an auditor. Means, is it possible that some goods were received, but the invoice was not recorded, or it was purchased underhand? So what I can see? I can see GST with purchase reconciliation. Okay. All invoices have been entered or not. All invoices have been entered or not. I can do analysis whether the sales is appearing logically correct in respect of the amount of purchases being shown. So all these points I can do. So here, which assertion am I verifying? I'm checking completeness assertion. I'm checking completeness assertion. Okay. Third point. The third question I will ask. So now I have asked whether this transaction actually happened. Second, I am asking, has all purchases been recorded? All is the main point. Okay. And then I will ask, is it recorded correctly? If 200 bills are there, then 200 bills have been recorded. That is completeness. But those 200 bills have been recorded correctly at correct amount. ऐसा तो नहीं है कि instead of 10 lakh rupees you have recorded 1 lakh rupees, or instead of 1 lakh rupees you have by mistake recorded 10 lakh rupees. So here we are going to ask, is it recorded correctly? So is it mathematically correct? Okay. So what are we doing here? Which assertion are we checking? Accuracy assertion. Accuracy assertion. Then next question that I will ask, okay, everything has been recorded, all invoices have been recorded, and all invoices have been recorded correctly also. It is accurately recorded. But does it belong to current year? Have I recorded all the transactions that belong to only current year? So that is the question. If we ask, you have to check the dispatch date. On what date is it dispatched? On what date as risk and liabilities transferred from one party to another party? So here, which assertion we are checking? Cut off assertion. Whether it is recorded in the current year only. Next question I will ask, is it recorded in correct account? Under correct head. So if I am purchasing some inventory and if I am doing any purchases, it should be recorded under current assets, under inventory. You cannot record it as fixed asset, right? So is it recorded under correct account, which means correct accounting head? Which means what am I checking? I am checking classification. Which assertion I am checking? Classification assertion. So if we have to check one transaction, a transaction that is a P&L related transaction, we have to ask ourselves these 5 questions and accordingly find the evidence. So to check a transaction, we check 5 assertions: occurrence assertion, completeness assertion, accuracy assertion, cutoff assertion, classification assertion. Is everyone clear? Is everyone clear with what I just said? Okay. Now this purchase, whatever was not utilized. So either raw material was not utilized in production, or the final goods were not sold, or something is in WIP. That becomes an asset, yes or no? What is the special thing about inventory? Okay. It is both a part of P&L and balance sheet. Yes or no? So now the same inventory, these purchases. Now I will see that if inventory is shown in the books, if inventory appearing in balance sheet. So purchases I have verified. Now if this inventory is appearing in balance sheet, what will I ask the questions? What questions will I ask? The first question is inventory physically present? Is inventory physically present? So which assertion am I checking? Quickly tell me, students. Is inventory physically present? If this is the first question I'm asking, which assertion am I verifying? Existence. Okay. And how can you verify existence? How can you find evidence? By doing physical inspection. Okay. So is this inventory physically present? Then what is the other question I'll ask? Okay, it is there in the warehouse. It exists in warehouse. Is ownership confirmed? Is it sure that it is mine? Is it sure that ये मेरी ही inventory है? Or I have some lying from other people that I have to return? So the second thing we have to confirm about any balance sheet item is the right and obligation. We have to confirm the right and the obligation. What can we do to check it? We can check title documents if it's an asset like machinery. We can check the purchase terms and conditions, whether someone else is going to take it. So these points. Then third thing I'll verify is it shown at correct value? Is it shown at correct value? What if some inventory is obsolete or there are some damaged goods in it? So is it shown at correct value? Which assertion am I verifying? Valuation. Okay? Valuation. अगर transaction में mathematical accuracy होती है तो उसको accuracy. If in transactions, P&L items when we are doing, then we write accuracy. Balance sheet items we write valuation. Okay? Then fourth, is it properly shown in financial statements? Which means what we will check? Presentation and disclosure. Everyone clear? So, accounting records tell us a story. Assertions are the questions that I ask to know whether that story is true. Okay? Accounting records एक कहानी बताते हैं. Assertion से मुझे पता चलता है कि वो कहानी सच है कि झूठ है. Is that clear? Assertions मदद करता है evaluate करने में कि वो कहानी कितनी सच्ची है. So, assertions are like the questions we need to ask. So, this points about assertions, can you remember? They are the one of the most important things in practical life to understand as an auditor. Now, let's see the book. Everyone pay attention. Assertions refer to representations by management, explicit or otherwise, that are embodied in financial statements, which is used by auditor to consider the different types of potential misstatement that occur. So assertions is nothing but that when management, who prepares the financial statement? Quickly tell me. Who prepares the financial statement? Management. So who is representing, who is telling me that company has purchased raw material of 10 lakh? Who is making this representation? Who is making this statement? Management. Which means management, when they make this statement and when they write it in their P&L, it means they are agreeing that it happened, that it is complete, that it is accurate, that it is in current accounting period, and that it is classified properly. They are giving implied assertion now. You understood? They are giving implied representation when they are giving one statement that purchases are rupees 10 lakh, which means they are giving an implied assertion कि हम ये पांचों चीज confirm करते हैं. अगर हम लिख रहे हैं, if I am writing in P&L that raw material purchase is 10 lakh, it means I am telling you these 5 things, that it is correct, it is accurate, it is complete, it is properly in cutoff, and it is presented properly. So basically, assertions are like declarations by management, but you can't write declarations in exam. It is just to explain you. So these are the representations by management that are embodied. Embodied means it is part of the financial statement. It is not separately from it. It is part of the financial statement as used by auditor to consider what kinds of misstatement can occur. Is everyone clear with the meaning? Okay. Now, again, one more thing that जो नींद में भी याद रहनी चाहिए, even in your sleep you should be able to remember, is this table. transactions. I explained you this. This I'll explain you. ये दो समझ में आ गया तो ये भी समझ में आ जाएगा. Okay. This is like a completion of the other two. So transactions, account balances, disclosures. It can come as theory, MCQ, practical questions, case studies, short notes. Any question that you can imagine in an audit paper can have a reference of assertions. Okay. So remember, for P&L items, for balance sheet items. So assertions for class of transactions or events. Occurrence we have to check whether they have actually occurred in the entity. Completeness we have to check all the transactions and events that should have been recorded have been recorded. Accuracy means recorded have been recorded correctly, appropriately. Cutoff means it is for correct accounting period. And classification, it means it's recorded under proper accounting head. Account balance. Existence of asset, liability, equity exists. Rights and obligation, entity either holds it or controls it. Completeness. All assets that have been recorded, properly recorded. Valuation. Asset, liability, equity are at appropriate amounts and proper valuation is done. What do we do in presentation? Same points. Occurrence, right and obligation. Ye P&L, balance sheet. Completeness is common in both. So completeness. Classification and understandability. Anything that is presented in the balance sheet or as notes in financial statement, it should be properly classified under correct head and it should be understandable. So it should be presented and disclosed and properly described. Accuracy and valuation. It is disclosed fairly and appropriate amounts. Accuracy again P&L, valuation again balance sheet. So if you remember the first two, you'll automatically remember the third one. Is that clear? Everyone? Okay. Now let's see one example that's given in the book. When we find in the balance sheet an item under current assets reading as cash in hand rupees 10,000, what are the obvious assertions that would strike your mind? Acha, you tell me. Suppose I am auditor of a company and they show cash balance of 10,000 rupees. Would you assume that it is actually 10,000 rupees in valid notes and coins? What if you go and see they are 1,000 rupee notes before demonetization? Before demonetization, there were 1,000 rupee notes, right? So what if 10,000 rupees is made up of 10 notes of 1,000 rupees? Is that correct if it is shown as cash in hand? Will it be correct if it's shown as cash in hand? Why? Because it is an invalid type of currency. Understood? So अगर कोई बोल रहा है कि मेरे पास 10,000 रुपया कैश है, तो आप क्या अज्यूम करेंगे उसके बारे में? कोई बोल रहा है कि 10,000 रुपया कैश है, तो आप क्या अज्यूम करेंगे? ये वो वैलिड नोट एंड कॉइन्स में है. ओके, दैट इट इज इन वैलिड नोट्स एंड कॉइन्स. सो देखो पॉइंट क्या है. व्हाट इफ वो 10,000 रुपए है? देखो फर्स्ट पॉइंट हो गया, इट इज इन वैलिड नोट्स एंड कॉइन्स. सो ये असम्पशन है आपका. This is an obvious assertion. What if then when you try to use it, someone says, no, you can't use this 10,000 rupee cash. We have to give this money to Mr. Tukaram who is going to come and take this money. So can you write this in cash in hand? If it is already obligated to pay to someone, which means there is a charge associated with that cash. Do you understand what's a charge associated with an asset? It is reserved for someone. So when you take money from the bank, all these things, which means charge can be there on the cash. So it is free. And books of accounts show cash balance of identical amount at end of the day on which balance sheet is drawn up. टेक टीम, क्या आप ग्रुप लिंक, टेलीग्राम ग्रुप लिंक भेज सकते हैं? सब स्टूडेंट्स मांग रहे हैं, 3-4 स्टूडेंट्स का मैसेज आ गया है मेरे पास. कैन यू कॉपी पेस्ट द टेलीग्राम ग्रुप लिंक? Okay. So whoever has asked, please wait till the end of the class. They'll share later on, okay? All right. Now next example is there. So there is plant and machinery of 2 lakh rupees. Depreciation till previous year 70,000. Depreciation for current year is 13,000. Total 83,000. So what is the value of machinery in the balance sheet? This. So what are the assertions that we are having? If we see this thing in balance sheet, you have to tell me, don't look at the book. Tell me, what assertions will be there? That the company owns this plant and machinery. Okay, good. Next. You can't write existence, ownership. You have to write what you are actually checking. So see, the firm owns the plant and machinery. Rights and obligation. Historical cost is 2 lakh. Plant and machinery physically exists. Existence. It is being used for the business of the company. Total charge is correct. And the amount of depreciation means accuracy is there. Valuation is correct. And measurement accuracy is correct. Do you understand? So these are just examples. To write this answer, you will learn in chapter number 5. As of now, did you understand assertion? Audit में लिखना कैसे है? That will come later on. Meaning is clear? Okay. All right. Now let's say, now tell me one thing. Can there be, for example, something called as negative assertion? Can there be a negative assertion? It means if the management is giving me explicit negative assertion, what does it mean? Suppose management says there is no contingent liability in our entity. Management comes and tells me there is no contingent liability. So what kind of assertion this becomes? What kind of assertion it becomes? It becomes an explicit negative assertion. वो मुझे बोल रहे हैं कि ये नहीं है. If he would have said there are many contingent liabilities in our entity, what is that? An explicit normal assertion. कुछ नहीं है, ये declare करना भी एक assertion है. How many of you understood? First, explicit negative assertion. specifically saying that this does not exist. That is also an explicit negative assertion. But what is implied or implicit negative assertion? What is implied negative assertion? Suppose you are checking balance sheet. Okay? Suppose you are checking a balance sheet. You are seeing asset, liability, everything you are seeing. And there is, when you see it, there is no building in it. Did anyone come and tell you कि हमारे पास building नहीं है? Did anyone come and tell you we don't own a building? By seeing the balance sheet, you observed that there is nothing like a building shown in the balance sheet. So what does it mean? Implicit negative assertion. It means automatically in P&L, what will you expect? Which transaction will you expect in P&L automatically? Very good, Pooja, that there might be rent or lease expenses. Now do you understand? कुछ ना होना भी प्रूफ हो सकता है किसी चीज का. Okay? So non-existence of a building is also something I as an auditor will have to observe, and it becomes an implied negative assertion. Is that clear? So negative assertion means something doesn't exist. But if management comes and tells me that it does not exist, that is explicit negative assertion. And if I observe on the basis of my analysis, I come to know that something doesn't exist. That is called as implied negative assertion. Is that clear? Everyone, properly. Yes, explicit means told, implied means understood on your own. Okay. All clear? Okay. Great. So here you can see assertions are generally implied and not specifically spelled out. Sometimes only explicit assertions are given. Most of the time assertions are implied only. This is again one more example. Underline this as important for MCQ. Underline this as important, this whole part. Negative assertions can also be there. If it is stated there is no contingent liability, it would be expressed negative assertion. If in balance sheet there is no item called as building, it would be implied negative assertion. Finished. All right, this much you can read. Now let's come to another thing, audit trail. Pay attention, everyone. Audit trail. Basically, in short, audit trail means documented flow of a transaction. Let me tell you what it means. Let's say that you go to a bank, okay? Okay, you go to a bank. Ma'am, can you give example of positive assertion? Everything that we studied is positive assertion. Anil, if plant and machinery is shown in balance sheet, what is that, Anil? You can see the plant and machinery being shown in balance sheet. Then what assertion is it? Positive assertion. Understood? That's it. So everything actually we check is mostly positive assertion only that the management is giving, and we are verifying their assertions. Is that clear? If this example I gave you, na, company is showing raw material purchased for 10 lakh rupees. What assertion is this? Positive or negative? Correct, Navneet. कंपनी परचेज रॉ मटेरियल्स ऑफ, ये दिख रहा है ना आपको P&L बैलेंस शीट में. ओके. Negative assertion means something that is not there and I'm telling you it's not there. Understood? It doesn't exist and I'm telling you if it doesn't exist, that is explicit negative assertion. जब आप खुद अपना एनालिसिस करके पता करते हो कि एग्जिस्ट नहीं कर रहा, जैसे कि बिल्डिंग, दैट इज इम्प्लाइड नेगेटिव असर्शन. ठीक है अनिल, क्लियर हो गया? अनिल का रिप्लाई नहीं आया है. ओके अनिल, ओके ग्रेट. Audit trail is a documented flow of transaction. Okay, what does this mean? Okay, pay attention. Suppose this person, let's say Tikuram. Tikuram has gone to bank. Tikuram wants to, Don is now auditor, okay? So Tikuram has gone to bank and Tikuram wants to deposit some money, okay? Now, 50,000. Ma'am, your audio and video is stuck. Is it the same for everyone? Is my audio video not clear? Clear, okay. Some problem, you can check your device, please. All right. So, Tikuram wants to deposit this cash. Now, if you would have ever gone to a bank, so if you want to deposit cash, they will give you a deposit slip. Okay. So, what they will say, that you fill up this deposit slip, this both sides you fill up. Okay. And in this, you have to give all the details like account number, signature, everything. Okay. And then this part is kept by you. This part is kept by bank. And on this, you can find some stamps done. Okay. Stamp of the bank is done with date. Okay. Then this goes to whom? Cashier. Cashier makes an entry in memorandum account. Okay. And then this is approved by an officer. And then entry is done in depositor account. Yes or no? And now let's say there is an auditor who sees that 50,000 cash was deposited. Can I trace the transaction from the end line to the opening line? Can I trace the transaction from the end finishing line to its opening line? Can I fully trace it? Yes. Why? I can ask the officer to show the depositor account. I can ask them to show me the memorandum account entry. I can ask them to show me the slip. And there will be a voucher. Yes or no? Audit trail basically means that as an auditor, when I am verifying any transaction or an event, that how a source document is this slip, how did a source document convert itself into the final entry, and in between what all did it go through. That is what is called as an audit trail. It's like a detailed record of all the things that happened. If it is an automated environment, like you are using a software, let's say you are using a Tally software, or you are using banking, net banking. Okay. If you can see a trail that last when login, last edited, can you see all this? So what is it creating? It's creating a trail to see that आज transaction, if the transaction has ended today, what all did it go through? How many people were part of this transaction before it came to an end? So audit trails are sometimes also called as audit trails, can also be called as audit logs. Okay. So it is a step-by-step record. It's a step-by-step record uh, by which accounting, trade details, or other financial data can be traced to their source. Is that clear? Now, why is this trail important as an auditor? So that you can check that how a transaction goes from one point to the last point. And this also helps us in knowing how good the internal control system is. So many times, to understand the internal control system of an entity, auditor takes one transaction of different types and checks it from the starting point to the end point. It's called as birth of a transaction to the death of a transaction. So when you do that, you will see at what all happened and what all work was done. Okay. Now, if you are using a software to do the process, let's say most of the companies are using softwares now. But what if you can delete anything in the software? See, when I am writing, let's say I was writing this on a notebook with a pen. If I had to cut something, I will have to cut it like this. So you can see that someone has made changes. Yes or no? But in technology, I can just delete like this and write like this. Will you even know that a change was made? Will you even know a change was made? So the transactions in softwares should have something called as edit logs. What should they have? What should they have? Edit logs. It means that who and when and how many times they edited a particular transaction. Bill number was changed. Sale value was changed. Sale discount amount was changed 3 times. पहले सेल 10% डिस्काउंट पे की थी, अब the supplier is saying 50,000 में काम खत्म करो तो आपने ओरिजिनल डिस्काउंट अमाउंट चेंज कर दिया instead of now giving additional discount. So edit logs maintenance is very important. So Companies Act 2013 has created this rule that the company has to maintain those software only that can give audit trails. Do you understand? Because if audit trails are not available, you cannot fix responsibility that who made changes when. Do you understand? So the companies can use only those softwares which allow audit trails to be traced. Okay. Now look at the book. So audit trail is mostly for your short note kind of question. Okay. Like a theory question. More than a case study or anything, this is mostly important as a concept and as a theory question. So audit trail is documented flow of a transaction. It is used to investigate how a source document was translated into account entry and from where it was inserted into financial statement. So where and how it became an accounting entry. It is used as audit evidence to establish authentication and integrity of a transaction. It helps in maintaining record of the system and user activity. Main is this thing. It helps in maintaining user activity. Like in case of banks, there is an audit trail keeping track of log-on activity detailing, login attempts, which device was used, everything you can check. In your Gmail also, you can check na how many devices are logged in. You can see the location of the device. All these are part of trails. Okay. It is a step-by-step record by which accounting, trade details, or other financial data can be traced. Audit trails or audit logs act as record keepers that document evidence of many events, procedures, and operations. What is the reason for doing audit trail? क्यों किया जाता है? Audit trail क्यों होना जरूरी है? Why is it important? Because it reduces fraud, material errors, and unauthorized use. आप ऐसे सोचो. Think like this. What is the purpose that you get a message when someone else tries to log in into your email from some new device? It helps to reduce fraud, any kind of errors, and unauthorized use. Okay. It helps to enhance internal controls and data security. It helps in fixing responsibility. Okay. It can track activities of users, thus fixing, you can just write here accountability. Accountability. But audit trail involves cost. Audit trail involves cost. Of course, system expenditure is there, but it requires time to analyze data made available. Okay, it takes time. System which have a feature of audit trail inspires confidence in auditors. Any system that records audit trail properly, which means yes, I as an auditor can trust that internal control system. Okay. It can also enhance data security. That's it. So this is more like a theory concept answer for which you can get a 3-mark or a 4-mark maximum question, that how do you explain an audit trail? So some important points. It's a documented flow of transaction. It helps in used as audit evidence. It helps in maintaining records. It's a step-by-step record. It is also known as audit logs. It helps in reducing fraud, material errors, this point. It helps in fixing accountability. It involves cost and it gives confidence. Is everyone clear? All clear, everyone? Okay, clear. All right. So till here we are done. Now we are going to study. You have to come to different page. I'll tell you which page number. So this chapter is made up of different standards of auditing. Okay. So today we are going to do. So we have completed essay 500, right? So today we are going to do essay number 501 and 505. So first, everyone please come on this part. Uh, yep. This is the page number 4.77. Everyone, page number 4.77. Everyone come on, please. First, we'll do essay 505. Then we'll go to essay 501. Everyone with me till now? See, this external confirmation word has been coming again and again. So I want to do this essay first for you so that you are you have clarity what this word is, how it's done. So practically we have reached this stage that you know basic meaning. So I want to do this essay first. So 4.77, I will give you an overall understanding of the standard, then we will see the book. So everyone just pay attention here. Essay number 505. Very easy essay, very scoring, and very popular. All three good things. Easy and scoring and popular. So all good things about this thing, nothing to worry. Very interesting and very simple essay. Now, what does external confirmation mean? To tell it very practically, it simply means that you are auditor, this is your company, and company has customers, right? Now, in books of accounts of the client, entity will write instead of getting confused. In books of accounts of the entity, I am seeing debtors of 2 crores, out of which Mr. X is 20 lakhs. So I send a confirmation to Mr. X that please confirm that this is XYZ, your balance in the books of account as on 31st March 2025. एकदम सीधी भाषा में this is external confirmation. But of course, you can use it for more things than just debtor and creditor. It can be used for unsecured loans, secured loans. If your goods are with someone else, if your inventories are with third parties, if you have given any of your goods on pledge with that party also, you can confirm. If your title deeds are with someone else, with that party also, you can confirm. So anywhere a third party is involved with respect to some asset or liability in the company, you can use external confirmation as a way of confirming and obtaining a good evidence, right? So external confirmation is a type of procedure that we do to obtain evidence. Now, if you see, external confirmation has some very good qualities. Firstly, it's in writing. Second, it is external. Third, it is obtained independently by auditor. Does all these things make an external confirmation more reliable? Tell me quickly. It is obtained directly. it is independent, it is in writing. All these qualities means that external confirmation is a very reliable source of evidence. Yes or no? Now, SA 505, does it tell me that external confirmation you have to use? Does it tell me that? Does SA 505 tell me, give me an instruction like AS1, AS2 tells you that this is how you have to do the valuation of inventory? Does this essay specifically tell me that you have to use external confirmation? Who takes the decision whether to use external confirmation or not? Auditor. But if I choose that I want to do external confirmation, where will I get that how to do it? If auditor decides that yes, I want to take, where will I get how to do it? SA 505. Now you understand the difference? So at the end, how many external confirmations I want, from whom I want, every decision is a judgment of auditor. But if you decide to do it, what process to follow, that is given by this standard of auditing. Now, if I tell you the specific definition, just listen to this. External confirmation is an audit evidence. It is an audit evidence that is obtained as a direct written response. Can it be oral? Can external confirmation be oral? If I talk on call with a customer and on call they give me a confirmation, can it be an external confirmation? No, it will be inquiry. What will it be? It will just be an inquiry. It will not have the qualities of an external confirmation. So audit evidence obtained as direct written response to whom? Can I tell management's internal audit department, आप सारे external confirmation भेज दो, आपकी आईडी पे रिप्लाई मंगवा के मुझे प्रिंट आउट दे दो? So can I tell to the company's internal audit department, you send the mails, you get all the mails, give me a printout? No. Will that be external confirmation? No. Direct written response, who will get? Auditor will get the written response. From whom? From a third party. From third party. Now, can it be only in letter form, or it can be email form and other form also? Can it be in email and other forms also? It should be formal, but can it be in email, letter, any form? Yes, in other form also allowed. So it can be in paper form or electronic or any other medium. The point is you should receive it directly as an auditor. Okay? Now don't ask me these questions. Ma'am, WhatsApp pe mangwaye to chalega kya? Okay? So all these questions, basically, you as an auditor should understand, is that a formal way of getting it? No. So think of it more as formal, informal rather than legal, illegal. There's no legal, illegal. Okay. If you have received on WhatsApp and then downloaded and taken a printout, but it's just not a formal way of doing things. That's it. So we will not talk about legal, illegal, but as an auditor, use your prudence, use your judgment that, okay, an email would be better, a letter would be better. Let me not get it on WhatsApp and all. Okay. But in essay, it's not written WhatsApp. It has simply written paper form, electronic form, or any other medium that as an auditor you feel is correct. Okay? All right. So this much is clear. Definition or external confirmation is audit evidence that is obtained as a direct written response to auditor from a third party in paper form or electronic form or other mediums. This is the definition. Now there are two types of requests that you can send, okay? Positive confirmation request and negative confirmation request. What does it mean? So let's think of it like this. Meenu, let's say Meenu, you are the borrower, okay? The borrower is not the correct. You are the debtor of the company, okay? You are the debtor of the company, Meenu. Now, I am sending a external confirmation letter to Meenu, okay? So, an external confirmation letter I am sending to Meenu. And I am writing in that whether you agree or disagree, please reply by XYZ date. Whether you agree or you disagree, please give me confirmation by XYZ date. What type of request is this? What type of request is this? Positive. Okay? मीनू के लिए नाम है, it's called as confirming party. In this essay, what do we call this third party who's giving us information? Confirming party. So if the confirming party agrees or disagrees with the request or with providing us information, whether you agree or disagree, you have to give me some response, positive confirmation request. Then what is negative confirmation request? Confirming party will respond only if it disagrees. So I am telling to Meenu that your balance in our book is 20 lakh rupees. If I don't receive a reply from you, it means we'll assume that you agree with it. And if you don't agree with this 20 lakh rupee balance, please reply by this XYZ date, or else we'll assume that you agree. So what kind of request type is this? Negative confirmation request. When do you get a reply in negative confirmation request? In what situation do you get a reply? Only if they disagree. Do you think negative confirmation request should be used just like that? Or it's a little riskier to use? Which one is more risky? Positive request or negative request? Which one is a more risky type of request? Negative request. So do you think it should be easily, everyone should be, in all situation, we should use negative request? So in what situations should we use negative request? See, negative request is a less persuasive audit evidence. Negative request is a less persuasive evidence. Can you use this as your only evidence? Can you use as sole substantive procedure? No. But if all conditions all following conditions are present, you can use. Not one. All following conditions. What conditions? First, assessed ROMM is low. First situation when you can use negative assertion, negative confirmation request, when the assessed risk of material misstatement is very low, plus internal controls are effective. So when your risk of material misstatement assessed is very low and internal controls are working very properly. Second, you can use that there is large number of small homogeneous balances. What does it mean? Let's say a company has 5,000 datas, out of which 1,000 datas are of small value, which means 50 rupees, 100 rupees, 150 rupees, 200 rupees, 75 rupees, 60 rupees. Like that, many small datas are there. So they are very small, large in quantity, hazar, large in quantity, but small in value. Can you see? Large in quantity, but small in value. अब इनके रिप्लाई का मैं थोड़ा ना वेट करती रहूंगी. नहीं आया रिप्लाई तो मान लिया चलो सब ठीक है. I can't keep waiting. I can't hold my audit for such small value items. So, if you are doing audit of something that is large in number, but small in value. So for those, you can use negative confirmation request. Third, when you can use negative confirmation request is very low exception rate is expected. Exception means you don't expect much problems or difference, okay? You don't expect much difference between your balance and their balance. So very low exception rate is expected. And auditor is not aware of any circumstances or conditions that can cause to disregard these requests. Means I don't have any reason to distrust the confirming party. मेरे पास कोई रीजन नहीं है कि मैं डिस्ट्रस्ट करूं कि कंफर्मिंग पार्टी इस पे ध्यान नहीं देगी ऐसा कुछ. आई नो कि उनके पास गया है, कुछ गड़बड़ होगा तो वो रिप्लाई कर ही देंगे. सो व्हाट इज द पॉइंट? In what situation can I use negative confirmation request? When the assessed risk of material misstatement is very low and I have enough evidence. I have enough evidence, sufficient appropriate audit evidence that internal control system is effective. Then if the amount is very large in number but small in balance, low exception rate is expected. An auditor is not aware of any circumstances that why I should not do this. Understood negative confirmation request, everyone? But now I have one question. Let's say I have sent these requests, either positive or either negative. So let's say I have sent it to 50 daters, out of which only 20 responded. 30 didn't respond. Does it automatically mean that there is some problem or these are fraudulent balances, these are fake balances, anything like that? Does it immediately mean that this party do not exist? Now, tell me this. Does the confirming party have any legal obligation to reply to the auditor? First, tell me this. Does the confirming party have any legal obligation to reply to me? No. Then, is it possible that simply they ignore if they receive my mail? Even if it's correct, they can feel like a spam. They can feel that I am a manufacturer. I purchase from 20, 30 different suppliers. All of them audit is going on. All of them are sitting on my head and sending me these confirmation letters. I don't have time to respond to 20 different people. Is it possible? Is it practically possible that they can be careless about this? Because they have to put their time, effort, they have to take a printout, they have to email, or they have to send a courier. It's a work for them. It's a time taking task for them. So there can be reasons that the confirming party does not respond. Does it mean that auditor will take confirmation as the final thing? So if someone does not respond, what do we have to do? If they don't respond, what do we have to do? We can take follow up. Good. But what if after follow up also I don't get any response, Nikunj? After follow up also I'm not getting other response. Yes, Arpita. We can confirm in other ways. What other ways? What other things can we do? What other ways can I confirm the data other than external confirmation? Documents. Sale document, purchase document, checking cash and bank balances. If they have made any payment, tracing it in the bank statement. Very good, Pushpendra. TDS portal I can check. Understood? So external confirmation is one of the ways to confirm. But if we don't get any response, does it automatically mean that kuch gadbad hai? Does it automatically mean that something is wrong? No. Of course, you will become a little more skeptical. Okay? You can become more skeptical. But it does not mean you don't have other means. Datas के केस में not TDS, GST Navneet, okay? GST. Okay, everyone? So, this is the basic understanding. Now, there are other few words like, suppose, let's say that I sent a 3-page confirmation. I told them that sign on all 3 pages. Okay, suppose I've sent them full ledger. So, आप confirmation request कैसा design करते हैं? How you design your confirmation request? It's on the auditor. Okay. Suppose there is a debtor of whom I just want to confirm the account balance. So I just send a one-liner that please confirm that this is your account balance. But with other debtor, I want them to confirm full ledger, which means I want them to confirm that if in my books it is shown cash received 1,000 rupees on 1st January, in their book also it should show cash paid 1,000 rupees on 1st January. So I have sent them whole ledger. So it's a 3-page ledger. And I want them to confirm it. They've only signed on the last page and sent. Will it be considered as a full usable response? Will it be considered a full usable response? No. So in confirmation, there is something called as non-response. Non-response means 2 things. If they fail to respond, or fully respond or returned undelivered. These three situations are called as non-response. Which is non-response? Failure to respond or failure to fully respond, or the confirmation request has returned undelivered. In all these situations, it's called as non-response. This is in case of positive confirmation request. Everyone clear? And what is exception word I told you? When there is a difference between information requested. There's a difference between information requested and information provided. So I have told that 20 lakh balance and they are saying 19 lakh balance. So what is it? This is called as exception when there is a difference. Till now, everything clear? We'll take a 10 minutes break now and come back after the break and continue with this. 10 minutes break now. Hello students, I am back. Can you all please confirm that you are here? Yes, all right. Okay, all clear. Okay, so come to this part now. I've explained you a few things. Let's see again let's see at the book part. So from here, so above this is like a separate topic. From here, your essay 505 starts, okay? So essay 500 is about reliability. All these things we have already studied in essay number 500. That audit evidence is more reliable when it is obtained from independent sources outside the entity. Audit evidence obtained directly by auditor is more reliable than audit evidence obtained indirectly. Audit evidence is more reliable when it exists in documentary form. All these things we have studied. Now, scope of this specific essay. So, essay 505 deals with auditors' use of external confirmation procedures, depending on the circumstance of the audit, which means at the end, the decision is on you. Depending on the circumstance of audit evidence in the form of external confirmation received directly by the auditor from confirming parties may be more reliable than audit evidence generated internally. So it is intended to assist the auditor. So how does SA 505, what does SA 505 do? It helps me. It helps me that how do I design it and how do I perform it. So anything to learn here, you tell me. Anything to learn in these two paragraphs? You tell me. आप ही बता दो. है कुछ learn करना इसमें? It is for your understanding. Okay? It is for your understanding. Now come here definition. Now you tell me you have to learn this or not? Definition do you have to learn? Yes. Okay. So here, please remember any question you have to mention what? You have to mention essay name and number. So external confirmation is a type of audit evidence that is obtained as a direct written response to auditor from a third party that is called as a confirming party in paper, electronic or any other medium. So this definition needs to be remembered. What is third party called? It's called as a confirming party. Other terms, positive confirmation request, a request where confirming parties responds directly to the auditor. Please remember, directly to the auditor. Whether the confirming party agrees or disagrees, then it is positive confirmation. What is negative? A request that the confirming party responds directly to the auditor only if confirming party disagrees with the information provided. Non-response, a failure of confirming party to respond or fully respond or confirmation request being undelivered. An exception, difference between information requested and provided. That's it. Let's see this illustration. During the financial year 22-23, the auditor of Healthy and Wealthy Limited asked a trade receivable to respond directly to the auditor whether or not the amount they were required to pay to Healthy and Wealthy was 1,23,000. The trade receivable confirmed to the auditor that they were required to pay an amount of 1,23,000. State and explain the type of confirmation request. So, is it positive request or negative? Positive. Whether or not. In both cases, please respond. So it's a positive confirmation request. Okay. Now we'll study next theory answer. Please pay attention. So when auditor is using external confirmation as a process, the auditor has to maintain control over external confirmation. So the complete control over the external confirmation should be of the auditor. So what is the process? Okay. What is the procedure the auditor has to follow? The first thing that the auditor has to do is determine which information you are confirming or requesting. Okay. What information are you confirming and or requesting? So you want to do debtors, you want to do creditors. If you are sending to debtors, do you want to confirm account balance? Which date account balance you want to confirm? Do you want them to confirm the whole ledger? Do you want them to specifically confirm some cash deposit they made? What exactly you want them to give you, or what exactly you want them to confirm? So please determine the information that you are requesting or you are confirming. This point clear? Next, after you have decided that I want to confirm account balances of debtors, then you decide the appropriate party. Appropriate confirming party. So if I want to confirm account balance, can I write the external confirmation letter to marketing manager? Can I write the letter to marketing manager of the company? Or do I have to write it to the correct person, maybe accounts officer, right? CFO, maybe, yes. So as an auditor, I have to decide who will this letter go to. Selecting the appropriate confirming party who will have knowledge of this transaction to give me information. So selecting the appropriate party. Then third is designing the confirmation request. Designing is a long answer. We'll come to that. So third is you have to design the confirmation request. What points to be remembered while designing, we'll discuss. And fourth is sending the request. Including follow-up if needed. So, auditor has to maintain complete control over the external confirmation. To maintain control, you have to do the following process. First, you decide that what information you want to confirm or what information you want to obtain. Then from whom you want to obtain. Then how you want to obtain. And the last is sending the request. Sending the requests. Everyone clear till now? Okay. Sometimes we can even send, let's say, a confirmation request to confirm absence of something. What does this mean? So I can write an external confirmation letter to a supplier, not negative confirmation request. No. I can write a letter to the supplier as an auditor, and I can ask them to confirm that please confirm that you do not have any supplementary or a side agreement with the company other than your original sales contract letter, and there is no other additional uh, agreement between you and the company. What is a side agreement? Let's say that I am the company, you are the supplier, and I have a normal agreement with you. But we also have an understanding because we have been working with each other that you will take the goods back even after 20 days because you trust me and you know that, okay, if they are returning the goods, it's okay. Even after 20 days, if you return, I will accept it. But in contract, it's actually that goods once sold cannot be returned. Again, I'm saying in contract, what is it written? Tell me. In contract, what is it written? In written contract, what is it written? Goods once sold cannot be returned. Yes or no? This much you understood? In the main contract, what is it written? Goods once sold cannot be returned. That is our contract. We made it 5-10 years ago. Now we are working with each other for 5-10 years ago. But after working with each other for such long, we have an understanding that sometimes the management can take time to approve the goods. So you allow me to return goods even after 20 days. Do you understand? This is called as a side agreement. What is it called? What is it called? A side agreement. How can a side agreement affect accounting? Can anyone tell me? How can existence of a side agreement affect accounts? Side agreement may not be written. It may be written, it may not be written. Yes, Arpita. How will it affect accounts? I can't hear you. My volume is on 100%.
Ma'am, am I audible now?
Yeah, now you're audible.
तो मैम जैसे अभी आपने एग्जांपल दिया था गुड्स का कि वो 20 डेज के बाद रिटर्न कर ले गुड्स को और लेट्स से उस एक सर्टेन डेट पे बैलेंस शीट पे हमारे पास आइटम्स लिखे हमारा स्टॉक लिखा हुआ है 2000 यूनिट्स का लेकिन उस टाइम पे उससे पहले दिन या उसी सेम डे उन्होंने रिटर्न कर दिया उस गुड्स को तो वो यूनिट्स तो कम होंगी ना लेकिन वो वहां पे रिटर्न डाउन नहीं है क्योंकि वो एक फॉर्मली अप्रूव नहीं हुआ है.
It can create problems in valuation of the stock. It can create problems in the accuracy. It can create that how many stock do we actually have responsibility for, and hence it can create accounting troubles. Do you understand? So sometimes we can ask the management, they may say something, and we can ask the daters also in external confirmation that please confirm that there is no side agreement. Basically, side agreement is a word for understanding, an additional understanding. Do you understand? So even absence of something we can confirm. Please confirm that there is no such thing. Please confirm that there are no goods in transit right now. Okay. Please confirm that currently there are no goods that are in transit or being shipped right now. So absence of something can also be confirmed from external confirmation. Okay. Yeah, it can affect goods return. So on 31st March, when I'm preparing books of accounts, I have taken all the goods received from the supplier in my inventory. But after 15 days, I return it. So it should never have been there in 31st March as my inventory. Yes or no, Navneet? If it was goods on return basis, it should not have been there on my normal inventory. So it affected accounting. It showed wrong accounting figure of inventory. So we can even send confirmation request to confirm absence of something. Now is it clear to everyone? So confirmation request आप किस चीज के लिए use कर रहे हो? For what thing you are using, it's completely your decision. It is not necessary that you have to use confirmation request to only confirm balances. Is that clear? It can be used to confirm anything that you need as a auditor. Okay. So these 4 points. What is the procedure? Determine the information that you want to confirm or you want to ask. Select the correct confirming party. Design the correct confirmation request and send the request, including the follow-ups that are needed. Okay. Now look into the book. Again, this can be a direct question in exam. This can be a direct question in exam. So when using external confirmation procedure, the auditor shall maintain control over the external confirmation, including information to be confirmed or requested, selecting the appropriate party, designing the confirmation request, including requests are properly addressed. They contain return information. What does it mean by return information? How can you respond back to me? You can even give them an address. You can give them an email ID. You have to tell them where they have to send the information. And sending the request, including follow-up request. So all these part I have confirmed. Just remember this. When you decide, you can ask them to confirm account balances, some contracts, terms of agreements, transactions, and even confirm absence of certain conditions. Okay. So absence also you can ask to confirm. Selecting the appropriate, which means someone who has knowledgeable information, someone who has knowledge to reply to you. Designing confirmation request, mark this as most important theory answer. In this whole essay of 505, there is only one mugging up answer that requires thoda, ratification, thoda mugging up. It is this answer. So factors to be considered by auditor when designing a confirmation request. Please pay attention. Factors to be considered when designing a confirmation request. Pay attention. Let's say that I am sending a confirmation request to Divya. Okay. I'm sending a confirmation request to Divya. My concern is not the final balance. My concern is not the final balance. But I have doubt that Divya paid many times to me in cash. And I used to send my employee Chintu to collect cash from Divya. I have doubt on Chintu that Chintu sometimes used to take money, use it for some days, and then give it to me. This is my fraud risk. So when I'm designing request, will I just send account balance or will I ask them to confirm cash deposit dates? What will I ask them to confirm? What will be my area that I will ask them to confirm? Dates and amount of cash. I'll ask them, in what dates, how much cash you gave to my employee, confirm that. Yes or no? So designing confirmation request, the first 2 points is which risk you are addressing, which risks you have identified, and which assertions you are addressing. Do you distrust accuracy? What if the assertion I'm trying to confirm is existence? Then my focus will be account balance or asking them for their address, their GST number, or asking them to send a photo of them working of the shop. Then the focus will become address. Then the focus will become asking for GST number. Correct? So which assertion are you addressing? Are you addressing accuracy? Are you addressing cutoff date? If cutoff date is my point, will I ask to confirm for whole year or will I ask them to just confirm the last 15, 20 sales? Sales during the March month. If cutoff is my concern, I will just focus on last period sales. So when I'm designing a confirmation request, I have to see that what risks I have identified and what assertions I want to confirm. Okay. Then what do I have to see? Then while designing, I have to keep in mind layout and presentation. It is properly in proper tables. It should be properly readable. It should not be something that will confuse my confirming party. So I have, when I'm designing a confirmation request, I have to keep it good presentation. Then when I'm designing a confirmation request, we have to see prior experience of auditor. So let's say that I'm already auditor for this company for past 3-4 years. And I have seen that this X, every time I send confirmation request in negative, it's always doesn't work out. Let me send a positive only, then only he'll respond. Or every time I ask him to fill in the blanks, he never does it. I'll just ask him yes and no, then he will reply. So you get some experience about certain kind of people and certain kind of confirming parties. Can you use that when you are creating confirmation request? Can you use your prior experience कि ये चीज चलती है, ये चीज नहीं चलती, ये चीज सिर्फ बुक्स में चलती है, ये चीज प्रैक्टिकली काम नहीं करती? कैन आई यूज दैट नॉलेज? यस. ओके. Now, one of the most important thing. What did I tell you? That does confirming party have any legal obligation to reply to me? First tell me. If you are a small business person and you receive a letter from the auditor, will you get a little afraid कि मैं कुछ ऐसा रिप्लाई ना कर दूं कि कंपनी मुझसे नाराज हो जाए और मुझसे सामान खरीदना बंद कर दे? Again, I'll repeat in English. If you are a supplier and you receive a letter from the auditor, will you have this fear that what if I reply something and it gets me into trouble and then management may not give me more orders and my business will be affected? Yes or no? That is why it is encouraged as an auditor. As I told you, we don't have investigation powers. Okay. I cannot force a confirming party to reply. So what I can do when designing it, I can mention that I am sending this with the knowledge of management's authorization or encouragement. Because some confirming parties will be willing to respond only if they see that a management signature is also there, which means ये कोई investigation नहीं हो रहा है, management को पता है कि मेरे पास letter आ रहा है. So you will not feel that fear. So the next important, very practical tip actually, something that will encourage the suppliers or the confirming parties to reply is to have something in your external confirmation that gives an indication that management is authorizing this process and management is actually encouraging you to reply. Is that clear? Okay. Now, when you are asking the confirming party and you're designing your request, where is the more possibility to reply? When you ask them to just give account balance, or when you write the account balance and just ask them to do yes or no, or when you ask them to give all sales and purchase transaction details, where is the most chance of getting a reply? Yes and no. Then second, where is the most chances of getting a reply? Second, account balance. And what is the least chance of getting reply? Okay. Why? Because it is very time taking, right or not? So when you're designing confirmation request, see the ability of intended confirming party to confirm or provide information. They have more ability to reply to a single sentence than to if you give a questionnaire of 10 points or 20 points and then reply to each point. Okay. That's it. So when designing a confirmation request, what points we have to keep in mind? What risk of material misstatement has been identified? What assertion you want to confirm? What presentation you want to keep on the basis of your prior experience? These 2 points you can remember together. Whether management has given authorization and whether your confirming party has ability to respond or not. So this point. Factors to consider when designing confirmation request. Assertions being addressed. What risks have been identified? Layout and presentation. prior experience. One point I forgot, I'll just confirm now. Management's authorization and encouragement, ability to confirm or provide. Method of communication also you have to decide whether I'm sending as a letter or I'm sending as an email. Okay. So when you're designing the confirmation request, decide ये email में जाने वाला है या ये letter में जाने वाला है. Okay. Is it done, everyone? Clear? Okay. I have already explained positive confirmation to you. You can just go through this on your own. Okay. Determination, all this is done. Follow-up is also done. Additional confirmation when a reply is not properly received. All this point is done. Yes, now we are coming to the last point. Very important. Okay, everything is done. Let's say I have decided that I will send confirmation request to A, B, C. Okay. Management is saying you send to A and B, but don't send to C. अगर मैनेजमेंट मना कर दे तो हम भेज सकते हैं, पहले तो ये बताओ. If management refuses, who gives me the address? Who gives me the address? Management is saying, I won't give you address, don't send to C. Now what? What is the first thing that will come out of your mouth? I am the management, I'm saying don't send to C. What is the first thing you'll ask? Kyun? Why? Why? Not suspicion. My first response would be why? So if management has refused, the first thing I'll is inquire reason for refusal. So let's say I am your management. I have said no. You have asked me why. I said there's a big fraud case going with C. The case is currently in court. So we don't want, and our lawyers have told that we should not have any communication with them while the case is going on. So they are not in an independent mindset to reply to you correctly. They will cause problem for us. So you don't send them external confirmation. So I have told you this reason. What will you do? मैंने आपको बोला कोर्ट केस चल रहा है, इसलिए नहीं भेजो. There's a court case going on. Correct, absolutely correct, Gayatri. See if it's true. Seek evidence of validity and reasonableness. So they will give me an excuse, court case. I'll ask them, show me court papers. Can I ask that? Show me the court papers, court notice, court documents. Okay. Now let's say the court documents are actually real. What now? Court case is real. Ab what to do? Yes. Now, will you have to change your audit program and audit plan because of this? Will you have to see that whether it is affecting my ROMM, whether it is affecting my other audit procedures, yes or no? Because in other audit procedures, I might have written that I'll do external confirmation, but now external confirmation is gone. So evaluate implication of management refusal on risk of material misstatement and nature, timing, and extent of audit procedures. Understood? Evaluate and see how does it affect my risk of material misstatement, and how does it affect my nature, timing, and extent of audit procedures. And finally, what you all have been saying, perform alternative audit procedures. Perform alternative audit procedures. But what if I find that their request is unreasonable? अगर मुझे लगता है कि वो जो मुझे बोल रहे हैं कि सी को आप मत भेजो, the thing that they are telling me, don't send the request to the C, I think that it is unreasonable. What to do then? I don't have the address, I don't have details. As an auditor, I have told you that we have right only to talk to everyone within the entity. Yes or no? Did I tell you that we have absolute right to talk to everyone outside the entity? No. So someone gave correct answer that if management does this, Prajapati Namrata, communicate with TCWG. मैनेजमेंट नहीं दे रही है तो किसके पास जाएंगे? मम्मी पापा ने मना कर दिया तो दादा दादी. ओके, mom dad has said no, let's go to grandparents. So we can go to the TCWG if there is a TCWG. If in small businesses you will not find all this, but if there is a TCWG, what can you do? So if auditor concludes, see this point. If auditor concludes that management's refusal to allow auditor to send is unreasonable, or auditor is unable to obtain relevant and reliable audit evidence from alternate procedures, then auditor shall communicate with TCWG. You will study SA 260 later on, okay? You have not studied it yet. So you have to communicate it with TCWG. So till now, this is the most important case study question of this essay. Most repeated case study question of essay 505. If management refuses, then inquire management's reason for refusal and seek evidence for the validity and reasonableness. Evaluate the implication of management's refusal on auditor's assessment of risk of material misstatement, including risk of fraud and nature, timing, and extent of other audit procedures, and perform other alternative procedures. So this is same thing in beautiful way, but the same thing, okay? Then how does auditor decide what is reasonable? A common reason for existence of a legal dispute or ongoing negotiation, the resolution of which may be affected by confirmation request. So what is usually the most common reason that is considered reasonable? सबसे common reason क्या है मना करने का जो auditor accept कर सकता है? What is the most common reason you can accept? Legal dispute or some negotiation. So auditor has to seek audit evidence regarding validity of it. Because the risk is that management may be attempting to deny auditor access to audit evidence that may reveal some fraud or error. So you have to always confirm whether management, whatever they are saying is true or not, because it can be actually possible that they're trying to hide something from you, or you might find some fraud or error which they're trying to prevent. Implications of assessment. The auditor may conclude that it would be appropriate to revise the assessment of risk of material misstatement and modify planned audit procedures. So again, all this is finished. What can be alternative audit procedures? Some examples are being given. Examples of alternate audit procedure is for accounts receivable, you can have examining subsequent cash receipt, shipping documents, sales, payable है तो subsequent cash disbursement, correspondence, any records like good received note, all these extra things you can check. Other audit evidences you can get. Till now, any doubt? So the answer is mainly here. This is all explanation. Ye wala part is explanation. The main answer is this 3 points. This whole part is the main answer. Okay. All right. See how the question can be asked. While conducting the audit of AB Limited, the auditor K of KLM and Associates Chartered Accountants observes there are large number of trade payables and receivables standing in the books of accounts as on 31st March. The auditor wanted to send confirmation request to few trade receivables. The management refused the auditor. How will the auditor proceed? Ma'am, if TCWG is not present, then you have to perform alternate audit procedure, Arpita. And if you are not satisfied with alternate audit procedures, then you have to see whether it will affect your audit opinion or not. Have I told you audit opinion modified, unmodified? Have I told you that much? If everything is okay, unmodified. If there are some issues, it will go in modified opinion. Yeah. So see the question. Looks like a case study. What would auditor do? But you have to write these full points only. The auditor shall also determine the implications for auditor and auditor's opinion as per SA 705. You will study SA 705 later on in chapter number 7. Okay. Negative confirmation, I have already taught you. It can come as a short note. When to give negative confirmation? Unless all of the following are present. Auditor has assessed the risk of material misstatement as low, obtained sufficient appropriate audit evidence that operating effectiveness of control is correct. Population of items subjected to negative confirmation is small and homogeneous, very low exception rate, and he's not aware of any circumstance that the recipients are incorrect people. Okay. The failure to receive a response to negative confirmation does not explicitly indicate receipt by the confirming party or verification. Accordingly, a failure of confirming party to respond to a negative request provides less persuasive audit evidence than a positive confirmation request. This you can remember for MCQ, which gives... Ma'am, can you please revise in short the last condition? So what it is saying, Divya, pay attention. Is it okay if I tell you in Hindi, Divya? Do you understand Hindi? Since this is your question, I can explain to you. हाँ, तो ये क्या बोल रहा है कि मुझे किसी को नेगेटिव कंफर्मेशन रिक्वेस्ट भेजना है, ठीक है? अब नेगेटिव कंफर्मेशन रिक्वेस्ट भेजने के लिए एक तो पॉइंट है कि मैं जिस चीज के लिए नेगेटिव कंफर्मेशन भेज रही हूँ वो चीज में बहुत लो रिस्क है, बहुत छोटे छोटे अमाउंट की चीज है, उसमें ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम्स एक्सपेक्टेड नहीं है. दूसरा, जिस बंदे को मैं ये रिक्वेस्ट भेज रही हूँ, जिस पर्सन को मैं ये रिक्वेस्ट भेज रही हूँ, मुझे उस पे डाउट करने का भी मेरे पास कोई रीजन नहीं है कि वो रिप्लाई नहीं करेगा. अगर कुछ गलत होगा तो रिप्लाई करेगा ही, ऐसा नहीं है कि वो इग्नोर करेगा. तो अगर मुझे जिनको मैं भेज रही हूँ उसमें भी लो रिस्क लगता है और जिस चीज के लिए भेज रही हूँ उसमें भी लो रिस्क लगता है, तो हम नेगेटिव कंफर्मेशन रिक्वेस्ट को यूज कर सकते हैं. अब समझ में आई बात? ओके. Now tell me, which gives less persuasive evidence? Negative confirmation gives less persuasive evidence or positive confirmation? Quickly tell me. Negative confirmation gives less persuasive evidence. Good. Now the last part, and we are done with this essay, okay? Last part. Evaluating the audit evidence obtained. Now this is important. Let's say I sent a request to someone, they have filled up and sent it back. काम खत्म? या हमें उसको पढ़ना पड़ेगा? If someone I have sent its written confirmation and they have sent me back, is the job over? Or do I need to study what they have sent? Do I need to study what they have sent? Do I need to analyze it, understand it? Yes. So that is called as evaluating the evidence obtained. The auditor shall evaluate whether the results of external confirmation is giving relevant and relevant audit evidence, or do I need to do more audit procedures? So after receiving the response, I have to decide whether this is enough or should I have to do something more. Do you understand now? After receiving the request, is this enough now? I can stop the work, or do I have to do more work? That decision auditor has to take after receiving the request. When evaluating the result of individual's external confirmation, the auditor may categorize into following. First, when there is an agreement, put it aside. Okay? Agreement, sab theek hai. Okay. One type. A response that seems unreliable. You think that the person who has responded is a sister concern or a related party. You think that response is not reliable fully. We need to do additional audit procedures. Third type is non-response, which means reply nahi aaya. And fourth type category is exception. What is exception? Quickly tell me what is exception. Not absence. What is exception? Difference. Correct, Nikunj. There's a difference. So you will categorize. You have received it. You have categorized into all okay, doubtful, no response, and there is a difference. Understood? You'll categorize all your responses. So if you have received 500 responses, divide it into 4. All okay means here we can stop. Doubtful, which means we have to do more process. No response means we have to do other audit procedures. And there's a difference, which means there's a possibility there's some fraud or error. Understood? That's it. The auditor's evaluation, when taken into account with other audit procedures that may have performed, may assist the auditor to give them sufficient audit procedures, or whether further audit procedures are required. So either you will decide, okay, finish, nothing else to do, or you have to do other audit procedures. Okay. That's it. We are done with essay number 501. 505, sorry, 505. External confirmation. Okay, everyone. 505 is completed. Okay. Now come back to top. I'll teach you one small topic. We still have some time. I cannot start a new essay, so I'll teach you one small topic, okay? So, yeah, pay attention. So this is a very small topic. Only 2 answers are there on this topic. So just pay attention. Management's expert. Everyone can see the page number. You can come on page number 4.32. 4.32. Everyone found it? Ready? Okay. So let's say I'm auditor of a company that's involved in petrochemical. Okay. Let's say I'm auditor of a company that's involved in petrochemical manufacturing. All right. Now, petrochemical valuation can be a complicated process. Yes or no? It can be a complicated process to give exact value because it can be on different stages. So management usually hires or has employed someone called as an expert in petrochemical who is doing all the valuation work. Now, this is very technical, management are not expert in that part. So they have hired an expert who's doing the valuation. Now, if I see their balance sheet and I see their inventory, there's 20 crores of petrochemical products in valuation as inventory. Okay. And if I go to management, that please confirm this, can they explain me the technicalities of it? Will be they be able to? No, because they are also relying on whom? They are also relying on an expert. इसको हम बोलते हैं management expert. What do we call them? Management expert. This expert is someone who is expert in other than accounting and auditing field. Why? Because accounting and auditing field के expert कौन है? Who are the accounting and auditing field expert? Us. So when someone is an expert of a field other than accounting and auditing, can I also understand their work properly? Can I understand their calculations and all? No. So I am also dependent on them, yes or no? I also become dependent on their calculation like management. So I cannot check the formulas you have applied. They might go bouncer for me, yes. I cannot check the formulas you have applied, but there should be something that I should do so that whether I can decide to use and to trust this valuation or not. कुछ तो check करूंगी ना. चलो मैं formula नहीं check कर सकती कि आपने इसको कैसे calculate किया. I can't check the formula. I don't understand all those physics and all those chemical things. Okay. So what to do? Pay attention here. An individual or an organization possessing expertise in a field other than accounting or auditing, whose work in that field is used by an entity to assist the entity in preparing financial statement. Okay? An individual or an organization who is an expert in field other than accounts and audit, whose work is being used in the final preparation of the accounts, that is called as management expert. Who hires them? I am doing it or management is hiring them? But is it affecting my work also? Yes. So how do I rely on the work of management expert? How do I decide whether I can rely on the valuation given by them? If the entity has employed or engaged experts, the auditor may rely on the work provided he is satisfied that sufficient and appropriate audit evidence is obtained with reasonable assurance. How to obtain that evidence? When information to be used as audit evidence has been prepared using the work of a management expert, the auditor shall, having regard to the expense, do this. First, evaluate competence, capability and objectivity audit. अब मैं उसका काम तो check नहीं कर सकती, तो मैं किसको check करूंगी? I can't check his work. So I will check the person. So let's say Vaishnavi is a petrochemical expert. She's an engineer. Okay, petrochemical engineer. So I cannot check the valuation she has done, but can I check whether Vaishnavi is reliable or not? Can I check whether Vaishnavi has correct qualifications? What is the reputation of Vaishnavi? What competence she has? Whether she's of independent mind or not? Can I at least check that much? So I cannot check the formula she has applied, but I can check the person who has applied the formula. Okay. Then I can obtain an understanding of the work, which means I can sit with Vaishnavi, talk to her, ask her to explain that how you are doing it, how much this work is important, what assumptions you have used while making these calculations. I can just understand what they did and check whether this expert's work is helpful or not. So here I cannot decide, I cannot check the work, but I can just check the person I can talk to them about their work and see if their work can be used as an audit evidence or not. Now, is it clear to everyone? Okay. So this is just a very small topic. Rest we will continue later on. Can we do some MCQs and practice questions now? Okay. Pay attention. Some practice questions from previously asked questions by ICAI only. Okay. They are sometimes in MTP, RTP, previously asked questions. So I've taken from that only. CAJ is conducting statutory audit of Gemini Limited, engaged in manufacturing of pharma products. The company is fairly large one and has a well-functioning internal audit department. While considering sending out external confirmation requests to trade receivables outstanding, CAJ has delegated the process of choosing trade receivables, designing request and receiving response to internal audit department. The responses are also received in mail ID of internal audit department. Is the approach proper? Is the approach proper? अब आंसर तो आप एक लाइन में बोल दोगे not proper, but how will you write it for 4 marks? It is not proper, right? So this point, this answer, you have to write like this. When using external confirmation, auditors shall maintain control over external confirmation requests, including determining the request, selecting the party, designing the party confirmation request, and sending. In the given case, it appears that external auditor has delegated the entire work of sending out requests to internal audit department, which he has no control. Further responses are also received on mail ID of internal audit department. All these acts are not in line with the requirements of SA 505. Now do you see how an answer is to be written? So बहुत सारे students, many students know the correct answer. You know this is not correct, but you don't know what answer to write in detail. Do you understand? So we should also know what to write when, okay? Everyone clear? Next. External confirmation procedures frequently are relevant when addressing assertions associated with account balances, their element, but need not be restricted to these items. Apart from confirmations for bank balances, what are other situations? So this was one of the questions where you have to use your own mind and write the answer. It's not there exactly in the book. So this is one of those rare times that sometimes you have. Examples are inventories held by third parties, property title deeds with some lawyers or financiers for safe custody, investments held by third parties, amounts due to any lenders, account payables, long outstanding share application money, आपका पैसा या आपकी property, your money or your property. If with a third party, you can get external confirmation. Understood? Money in any form, whether as share application money, whether as debtor, creditor, and property means inventory, property title deed, investments, everything is my property. Okay. So this is one practical question. Now this is another practical question. Everyone, let me see how many of you are able to give answer. Name the assertion that the auditor will check by performing the following audit procedures. Employee benefit expense in respect of all personnel has been fully accounted for. Which assertion are you checking? Employees benefit expense in respect of all personnel has been fully accounted for. So majority of you are saying completeness. Why did you say completeness? Which is the keyword? All. Correct. Discount on sales has been properly adjusted and accounted for. Accuracy. यहाँ पे mixed answers आ रहे. Let's see. But mostly accuracy. Okay. Employee benefit expenses recorded during the period relates to current accounting period only. Which assertion is this? Cut off. Let's see who got all three correct. Yeah, this is accuracy. Who got all three correct? Very good. Nikunj, Divya, Vedant, Pooja, Diya. Very good. Okay, all three if you have gotten correct. This is how questions can come. Now you understand what I meant, practical understanding of assertions. ये सब पूछे हुए questions है. Okay, these are all asked questions. So how much understanding is important? Okay, one more question. Name the assertions for the following procedures. If we are doing year-end inventory verification, what are we doing? Inventory verification, physical verification you are doing. What is that for? Vouching nahi. Existence. Depreciation has been properly charged on all assets. Valuation accuracy. Again mixed. Let's see, third one. You remember your answers. The title deeds of the lands disclosed in the balance sheet are held in the name of the company. Which one is this? The title deeds of the lands disclosed in the balance sheet are held in the name of the company. Rights, ownership, rights and obligation, yes. All liabilities are properly recorded in the financial statements. All liabilities are properly recorded in the financial statements. Which one is this? Presentation, completeness. Okay. Related party transactions are shown properly. Related party transactions are shown properly. Presentation and disclosure. Yes. Let's see the answer. Year-end inventory verification is existence assertion. Who got it right? Year-end inventory verification, existence. Depreciation has been properly charged, correct valuation. Title deed, rights and obligation. All liabilities are properly recorded, completeness. All are properly shown. See, properly recorded. Properly shown means presentation and disclosure. All liabilities are properly recorded, completeness. How many of you got all five correct? How many of you got all five correct? Divya. Very good, Divya. How many of you got at least four correct? Four. Little tricky. Little tricky. 3 and above. How many of you got 3 and 4? Good. Okay. Not bad. Again, as I told you, this you will study in chapter 5 also. Okay. Abhi to you have got an introduction. You'll study more in chapter 5 also. Then you'll become very strong. Let's do some MCQs now. Okay. Pay attention. Consider the following statements pertaining to the nature and meaning of assertions. Statement 1. Assertions are representations by management which are present in financial statements. Assertions have to be necessarily explicit. Which one is correct? A. Statement 1 is true. Next. ABC Limited is engaged in manufacturing of fabrics from yarn purchased from different suppliers. Occasionally, it also manufactures fabrics tailor-made in accordance with requirements of certain mills from yarn received from these mills. ABC Limited raises bills of its labor charges only on mills for converting yarn into fabrics. The auditor of ABC Limited tries to ensure that stock of the company as on year end does not include stocks pertaining to these mills. Which assertion the auditor is trying to verify in above situation? All wrong. रीड करो अच्छे से. Read it properly. What is happening here? ABC is himself manufacturer, but sometimes other people also send him fabrics. And you only take labor charges for it. You convert yarn into fabrics, but they are not yours. You only get which income? Labor income from it. The auditor wants to ensure that stock of the company does not include stock of other people. The stock of your company should not include stock of other people. So which assertion are you trying to do? Rights and obligation, ownership. Next, a failure of confirming party to respond or fully respond to a positive confirmation or negative confirmation request undelivered. What is it called? Non-response. Okay. A request that the confirming party respond directly to auditor only if confirming party disagrees. Which one is it? Negative. That's it. We are done for today and we will meet in the next class. I hope you enjoyed your class today. Tech team, can you share the Telegram link, please? Okay, we'll give you in the next lecture, okay? We'll give you in the next lecture, okay? All right. 1 second. Does anyone have any doubt? Nikuj, if you have, you can, but you cannot share with everyone. Only the board of studies can share. So we can do it next time, okay? Arpita, you have some question? Yes, Arpita?
Am I audible now?
Yes.
मैम मेरे को ना जो 7th एमसीक्यू था इसमें पूछना था आपसे.
हाँ.
इसमें जैसे जो ये था कि फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट ट्रू है, राइट? बट जो अजर्शन होती है वो तो मतलब फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट में रिटर्न नहीं होती, वो तो हम खुद उनको मतलब
इसलिए
समझते
रिटर्न नहीं
हैं.
लिखा है, प्रेजेंट, ईदर इम्प्लिसिटली और एक्सप्लिसिटली.
Okay, so मुझे लगा
ऐसा नहीं
इसका
लिखा है ना कि एक्सप्लिसिटली प्रेजेंट इन फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स, तो गलत हो जाता.
ओके.
हाँ.
ओके मैम.
थैंक यू कशिश, थैंक यू फॉर लवली मैसेज, थैंक यू. और कुछ अर्पिता? डन? ओके. Anyone else has any other question? Okay, Sanket ji, I think it's completed for today. We can end. Thank you.